Thank you, Studio B. Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Stock Review with me, Trishna Patel, and JC from IBSAchart.com. JC and I will be looking at corporate profile stocks from a technical standpoint. It's great having you back here with us, JC. Now, I hear that you have something interesting to share with us.
Yes, that's right. Now, what we have actually is a company organizing a friendly stock market game. Now, this game is giving out a free Xiaomi smartphone plus prizes worth 3,000 ringgit to the winner of such thing. And what you need to do is to select a stock of your choice, submit to a Facebook posting and win if your stock is selected as the best performing stock during that promotional time. Now, check out the instruction how to enter at ibsachart.com/contest.
Now, let's kick off with the market. What was the market like this past week, JC?
Now, if you look at from the insert that I have in here last week, you could see we have a narrow body and the market was really ready to explode out. And yes, it did. All right. And finally, when the market crossed over the 50-day moving average, which is around 1830, we saw this thing catapult up. That's what we're seeing, a wide range bar. Now remember, in VSA or IVSA, the market doesn't like wide range bar. So because of wide range bar, the market has to move sideways. Rest assured, and once you see this 200-day moving average is broken around 1840, 1850, if I'm not mistaken, right, you'll see a lot of media out there will be hurraying, saying, hey, the Chinese New Year 2015 rally is here. And guess what? The smart money will probably be profit taking. So meanwhile, that is not on the media now. I think small investors and small retailers who is really watching this show should really start positioning some of the stock that hasn't moved yet.
Now, let's move on to this week's stocks. Let's kick off with MBM Resources Berhad. MBM Resources has a 20% stake in the nation's second largest automotive manufacturer, Perodua, and for this reason, it is also a proxy to Perodua's sale. Perodua is MIDF Research top pick for the automotive sector as well as the broader market. Now, JC, I'm looking at the chart right here. It looks very interesting. Can you walk us through your price and volume chart for MBM Resources?
Yep, sure, Truth. Now, interestingly enough, one of my closing bell that I do regularly for some of my reader for my website was MBM. We spotted this on January 16 now. Now, when this show is done, that's almost a week later, this thing has already run. Now, like it or not, the IVSA able to anticipate this new coverage by a lot of analyst report. And of course, we all know, once analyst report push the report out, everybody knows about it. And guess what? Stock price always go higher. So now you look at this point, we are what we call a market where the price has gone ballistic. Now, when it gone ballistic, which means profit taking is likely to come in, smart money will probably be selling to it. So, investor, beware. Know the IVSA chart in here. Now, the best time to be in was actually around 2 ringgit 90, 2 ringgit 95 cents.
MIDF Research is reiterating its buy call with target price at 4 ringgit and 80 cents for MBM Resources. The research house is expecting the performance of MBM subsidiaries and Perodua's contribution to rebound in this financial year. MIDF Research also thinks that MBM continues to trade at an undemanding valuation of only 6 times financial year 15 price over earnings. It said that MBM's dividend yield is also fairly attractive at 4.2% based on a 26% payout ratio. Now, JC, would you agree with MIDF in regards to valuations and its dividend yield?
Now, like it or not, MBM is a producer of our car maker Perodua in Malaysia, and certainly at 4% dividend, it is a good play. But again, look at where you are buying. Right? You want to wait for a slight pullback before you buy. And of course, you know, when analysts put up, they want to put up a nice valuation around 480 as the target price, currently doing at 3 ringgit 30 cents. That is a lot of upside from here. Now, but don't forget, now we are in what we call a pre-Chinese New Year rally. Now, that hasn't been priced in on the media yet. So if you're watching now, there's a lot of opportunity to make. But for those share who hasn't run, however, for long-term investor, you might want to wait to see another sign of strength on the weekly chart using the IVSA chart before buying some more of this MBM. Certainly looking very good. If interest rate movement does not move up, this share will do very well.
Now, moving on to the OCK Group Berhad. The group is the largest telecommunications service provider in Malaysia. It primarily focuses on building and renting out of telecommunication towers. It also has a smaller segment focusing on solar energy. And now OCK's client base includes U Mobile, Celcom, Maxis, P1 and Ericsson. Now, JC, how does OCK Group look like from a price and volume standpoint?
Now, like it or not, OCK, in terms of fundamental valuation, it does look like a growth story. However, from a chart-wise, it hasn't done its part yet. It has been really moving on a sideways with a bias to a downside. And like it or not, it is, went down to hitting 65 cents. Of course, it has done some bonus issue. By the way, I have also met the founder of OCK, Sam Wee, and he is a very down-to-earth person. Certainly a good company to look at. But however, we, as a trader, as an investor, we are looking in terms of the price to able to buy at a better price. In here, currently, we are seeing some sort of pressure. You could see from the chart here, with an upthrust, you can see the red arrow on the right side. That's showing weaknesses coming. Now, weakness, what does it mean? It does mean there are a lot of supply coming in there and demand is not overcoming it. So we are seeing a bit of selling in here. Perhaps if the market were to pull back a bit around this 80 cents, that may be a good point to relook at it again.
Now, RHB OSK is maintaining its buy call on the OCK Group. Target price is also retained at RM1.06, which is supported by a 2-year earnings per share compounded annual growth rate of 52%. The research house is advising investors to accumulate on the share on the back of current price weakness. Now, JC, would you agree that this is the right time to accumulate?
Now, back on that, there is a lot of growth potential in OCK, but again, all those news may already been priced in on OCK. If news that is very, very positive for the company in the long term, it shouldn't be on a downtrend. However, having said that, all investors with an IVSA in mind may want to see a bit of what we call accumulation first before buying. It's never too late to buy shares that is about to go up, because you don't want to hold a share when it is falling. It is just like holding a falling knife.
Next up, SKP Resources Berhad. SKP Resources plans to acquire Technic Group entire business for RM200 million, and this will be satisfied via the issuance of 172.4 million new SKP shares at 58 cents each and topped off with RM100 million in cash. SKP Resources and Technic Group have the same major shareholders. The merger will combine SKP's plastic injection and electronics manufacturing services with Technic's plastic molding business. Now, JC, let's go through your price and volume chart to get to know this company a bit better.
Yes, if you look at the right side, the market actually broke through so-called the 50-day moving average at 70 cents, and we saw that really widespread bar. But like it or not, there is what we call a sell-off. But the market did not have a follow-through down. Now we can see from the region that we saw, the bearish region, market continued to move sideways, hovering around 63 cents in here, and finally we have the turning of the red region that you see here to the green region, followed by a lot of this SOS, the green SOS. Now the green SOS denotes there are demands coming in, overcoming supply, and that's why we see the market broke through 80 cents. Now remember, any smart money, when the market is broken higher, guess what? They will come in and take a little bit of profit. That's why we are seeing 3 bars coming lower. But like it or not, the fundamental remain good, a good ROE. Once the profit taking has settled down, we might see SKP Resources going a bit higher too.
Now, SKP Resources is currently trading at a forward calendar year 15 price over earnings ratio of 11.9 times. TA Securities thinks that this is undemanding. It said in a note that SKP has an earnings growth potential of 22 to 65.3%. TA Securities also said that TA has a solid dividend yield of 4.6 to 5.7% and a high ROE of approximately 20%. Now, JC, is this stock a pure dividend play, or can investors look to get more out of it?
I think you can do a bit of both dividend as well as a stock play. Now, like it or not, if you look at the weekly chart that we have in here, the market has broken through the old high at 75 cents, and that would remain a nice resistance for it to hold on. If it can hold on, we will see higher upside, because like it or not, the trading price or trading target profit price for the analyst report are much higher, with the fundamentals intact, and we might see some recovery in US, especially buying a lot of the plastic products of Technic as well as SKP. This has a lot of potential.
Now, we also looked at Inari Amatron Berhad. Inari's shares went ex-right last Tuesday based on a ratio of 1:8 at the right's price of RM1.50 and an existing share base of 629.6 million shares. It is estimated that the rights issuance could raise gross proceeds of over RM115 million, and this is partially fund Inari's financial year 15 to 70 capex. Now, JC, please walk us through your price and volume chart for Inari Amatron.
Now, you like it or not, on the IVSA chart, if you see that we have a lot of sellers coming in to sell, and that pushes the price back to 220. But smart money came in to buy, and we saw a 2-bar reversal, 2B, meaning demand overcoming supply, and immediately we saw a lot of SOS going into these Inari shares, and eventually it recovered at certainly RM2.90. So it has been sort of a sideways moving. When the price go lower, there was support. As the price go over, hitting the old high around RM2.93, and we have seller coming to sell. So this has been a dog fight, remember. And a lot of the news that we saw about the right issue already been priced into Inari. What's going to happen is definitely a recovery play in US economy, because Inari do supply a lot of the products to the European countries as well as the US.
Now, JC, what would you advise sideline investors to be doing right now in light of these X-rights?
Now, the next one, I think the right way is to subscribe to the cash call, because every time when you have a right issue, not subscribing will actually dilute your holdings in there. So if you're going to be a long-term investor, play for Inari Amatron, something that you should consider taking up the rights.
Now, JC, last week's hot pick was Nissin Resources Berhad. I'm sure you have more to add on that.
Yes, that's right. Now, if you look at the insert that I have on the chart in here, Nissin was around 41-42 cents when we did the call last week. Immediately, the market went up and hit 45 cents, but since then has pulled back a bit more. It's holding up. I think there's a nice support there, 40 cents in here. If you could hold above the 40 cents, if we do see the pre-Chinese New Year rally 2015, this will certainly go a bit higher.
Now, JC, what hot stock do you have for us this week?
Now, the stocks that I really like with a lot of SOS or green SOS, sign of strength is definitely going to be DIALOG. As you can see in here, 150, 155, this market is really doing well. Again, DIALOG is in line with the also KLSE, the big 200-day moving average at 170. If DIALOG break above 170, we will also see KLSE break through the 840, 850, which is the 200-day moving average at this point. So this will be a stock we will come back and review next week.
Thank you, JC. Always appreciate your insights. But I'm afraid that's all for this edition. On behalf of JC and myself, have a good trading week ahead. Back to you, Studio B.